All right, how you guys doing? So today's video is going to be all about countering Rey with Jedi. So we have 4 different battles we're going to go into today, one of which is mine without a full Jedi team. It has Thrawn instead, and then we have 3 others that are full, pretty much full, except for our last one. I think we have Watt in there. We have pretty much full Jedi versus Rey's. Ults, non-ults, we'll go into it all. And today I brought up one of my friends. He's really good at counters. His name is Blade Baca. Blade, how you doing, man?
Good, and you?
Pretty good, man. So yeah, we're gonna do a video today about countering Rey, and then I want to do another video in the future all about Kylo, and that's what we're gonna do. But for today, let's swap over. We're gonna share with you guys some of these battles. So this is the first one. We're going to share. This is mine actually. This is Jedi versus the Rey, the Thrawn at least. So when I'm using this, there's a couple things I have to keep in mind, right? You have to have a fast Yoda. The GMY has to be fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he has to be fast. Anybody else that has to be fast? I mean, I would say Hoda doesn't need to be crazy fast. Even JKR doesn't need to be crazy fast. I do think Thrawn needs to be somewhat fast, right?
Yeah. You want them, most of them, you want them all tanky. As
Yeah.
tanky as possible.
Yeah, so yeah.
You do not want...
You go.
Yeah, you do not want the Savior to proc before Rey does any of her stuff, including the AoE one-shot or her ultimate equals bad.
Yeah. So in this one we're seeing right here, this is a non-ult Rey, and this is one I would recommend if you like want to save Bastilla in like a GAC setting. You can use her for like a different Jedi team if you wanted to. Thrawn's a great use here versus non-ult Reys. I do like this one a lot. It just takes a couple fast mods on the Thrawn and also Yoda, but besides that, this is pretty easy. You can see here Anakin is super crucial to this counter to reduce the HP of Rey. Without this character, you cannot counter this team. It's just impossible.
He hits hard.
Yeah.
He is unique. He helps prevent crits from assists, which they do a mass assist at the beginning of the battle. So it helps in keeping gas alive, since their AI is programmed to target gas. So you want gas to be modded to be somewhat tanky, really tanky actually, and then hit hard too.
So you can see here a little bit ago, you just saw that Rey had the damage immunity buff, but you can still lower her HP if you do hits on her with the gas.
As long as she has no protection, you can keep lowering her health as long as gas is hitting her.
As long as, she has no protection, you can. But the JKR lead, though, right, you can still reduce the max HP if they have protection.
If they have protection up, which Rey gives it with the lifeblood, JKR leadership, when they do basics, which includes when you do the initial and while she has the protection up, if she doesn't resist those max health reductions, she's losing a lot of health right there.
Yeah. So after you kill Rey from reducing her HP so much, I mean this is like a cakewalk. It's super easy. Yeah. Everybody's pretty much full, and actually it's pretty good to hide banners, I would say.
Yeah, once Rey's gone, you have so much time to just recover banners, especially with the damage immunity.
Yeah. Yeah, you could really play around with that stuff.
Fracture during the damage immunity, just to recover banners.
So yeah, this is okay, here's the thing. This is like, I'm thinking more for like GAC. You're probably not going to see one with Watt. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But usually, I find my arenas at least. I think Blade does too with the Watt variants with like another 5th in there. But in GAC, I probably wouldn't see any of those, which would make it a lot easier, I would think, right? In a GAC setting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's usually Watt just stand. He gets like 2 takes off, 3 takes off. He's kind of easy too. Yeah,
he's really easy to handle. Okay, so this is yours. This is the next one that we're going to show. This is a full Jedi team. So this is with Bastilla though. So
yeah,
Bastilla is really good here because actually with what is the Force Bond unique? I forget the name of it, but you get even more potency, right?
For JKR and herself.
Yeah.
And she gives the battle meditation, which is extra counter chance and potency.
Yeah, and that's pretty huge to land those. You can see right there a bunch of max health downs onto Rey.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh man, and then even more buffs with Yoda, Master's Training, and you're just pretty much going to work.
This is a 5-star G11 Hoda in my face.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a 7-star, man. It's awesome. Oh man, you know, I do like this one a bit more than Thrawn because you know you can save Thrawn for one in like a GAC, but this one just seems to just melt Rey down even faster because of all the max
with the
health
extra
downs.
potency.
Yeah.
The extra potency from Bastila.
Yeah. It is okay. It's way easier. I mean,
And she gives
Nelson-
ability block on the basic.
Yes.
So when she gives the
Oh, yeah.
especially if
So one thing
So
with the
it
ability
helps-
block is it can not stop ultimates, but this is not an ult Rey. It can stop like a whirlwind or something else, like a lifeblood, which is really good in a lot of these scenarios, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, it doesn't stop the ultimate. But usually the ultimate does around with Bastila. She gives some TM. If Rey was still inspired, she gets some damage. It'll be around 80k. That most of the Jedi are tanky enough to survive that. You just have to build GM Yoda to be that tanky, and even Jedi
Yeah.
and Revan.
Which does take some relics and some pretty okay mods, but you know, I think if you are fighting or are seeing Reys, I think you're going to have some of these relics and gas built up. I would say, you know, it's kind of like if you don't have one of these counters built up, you're going to be kind of screwed. And I guess if you are fighting a Rey or a Kylo, you'd already have these counters built up anyways, or at least the characters.
Yeah,
anyways.
you just have to mod it specifically for.
Yeah, which we'll get into another part to this, because we will say this: Jedi can counter Rey, but there are a couple. Actually, there's one variation I know of with Chewbacca that it just really can't work too well. And in that case, you do have to toss in like a Darth Revan counter, which we've seen videos of previously, and that can also work very well. A lot of extra TM, and also the Darth Revan counter can easily beat the ultimate Rey as well because you have so much extra, you know, manipulation, TM, and you can even actually land the offense down. Which,
Offense down.
Yeah, which
and you have, if you use GBA with Darth Revan, that's an extra character, so that's less damage.
Yeah.
Rey's ultimate does to everyone.
Yeah. So in this one, I mean, we already killed Rey. It's just these three left. It's super easy. Again, we're trying to hit the people with damage mini. They all have anyways, so we're gonna get way more banners, and you know, it's pretty easy, man.
Yeah,
it's really easy. So I'm not even gonna finish this one. It's already gone. So this is the next one. This is a full Jedi with GK instead of Yoda, and we're actually fighting a Malick with Watt. So I don't really have too much experience with the GK. You want to explain why he's so important here, or why he's kind of nice here?
GK is nice if you're scared like the resistance heroes are going to do too much damage to gas initially. They'll hit gas first hit, likely crit, and then GK will get taunt, and then Poe will do the big stun buff immunity on GK instead, and then they go back to gas.
Yes.
Which GK gives that one breathing room with the Poe hit to keep gas alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think GK can be really safe. And, you know, you can, like, since you're using, again, if this is like in GAC, if you're going to use gas in this counter, well, you probably can do something else with your GMY in maybe some, I don't know. There's always going to be somewhere to utilize these characters. And I think that this is a pretty good one. I'm not sure if you said earlier, but can this one with GK, can this one handle the Chewbacca variation? You think?
I have not tested enough with
Okay.
Chewbacca yet. I'm sure it's going to be possible.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it might be like some Watt variant, like GK Watt or something that might be doing it.
Yeah. I think that Bastila is like my favorite, just because you can kind of save Thrawn. But I mean, either way you go about it, I think it's going to be still great to use. The only downside about this is you got to use gas. But you know, if you're going to have to fight a
But you
Rey
have
or somebody,
shock clones are great, or you can use a Rex lead with 501st plus another character like Xeris or Nest, things like that.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, people hate on, you know, non-gas or no gas with the 501st. It's actually really good with Shock T, or even just a Rex.
Yeah.
It's really powerful, especially in GAC. You know, you're gonna pull a same counter like a CLS or Padme or whatever. So it's pretty good. And holy cow, we're like at full banners right now. Full everything's full. So this is another easy one. I mean, gas. You know, at this point, again, you know, Rey's gone. Gas is going to be juiced up with all of his extra buffs here, Master's Training, everything. He's going to just one-shot them after they get their damage immunity, unless you just one-shot through that, which, does happen sometimes. So, yeah, we'll just skip ahead through this one a little bit. I think I like this one maybe a little bit more than Yoda, not just because it's a little bit more safe, but I do like that assist a lot. Even more protection, more chances to reduce the
gives
health.
Retribution, which when they counter, they'll recover protection from JKR lead.
Yeah, I kind of like that. The only downside for that though is you got to pull GK from like a Padme or somewhere else. But I think that might be worth it if you're kind of hesitant on the GMY. Okay, so this is the last one. This is a Ultimate Ray, and we're using the Watt variation with Shaak Ti, and then the main three. I would say these are like the main three, right? With Hoda, JKR, and Gas. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much in every single Jedi variation for versus Ray.
Yeah. So in this one, kind of the biggest things I would do like really quick in the battle is you got to first give the weapon tech to the Gas so he gets even more TM, which actually, if you think about it, you don't have to put as many crazy mods on him for like speed mods. You can kind of bump him up with more HP protection, more offense.
Yeah.
And then you want to mark Ray, of course. And after that, I mean, you should be pretty good. One thing, so I was watching this earlier, the one thing I noticed is like right here, you're going to use the Master Training, and then don't use it onto Ray because were you kind of hesitant to use it onto Ray to like not, or to proc her damage immunity?
Yeah, you do not want to proc the damage immunity.
Yeah, okay. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to just rewind it. You guys see that damage? Holy cow. 68, 160k. Oh my gosh. Yikes.
And she was already at like 50% health or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because she did 2 lifebloods on herself already, and then JKR lead with the mark, it already lowered some of her health already.
Yeah.
And then Gas is first, right before he does the second hit of 159k, he'll lower her health again because she's already below protection.
Wow. Oh man. And even if you like are getting kind of close to losing your Gas, well, guess what? You have Shaak Ti to heal him up even more, which is awesome. And
since you kill Ray so fast, it's actually okay to proc Savior. So you can actually mod Gas for this counter to be more damage if you wanted.
Oh, true.
Instead of, because you just kill Ray instantly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the whole part of this video, I think, is why I like it a lot, is that there's so many variations to use where you can kind of, mix and match the mods. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think that's a cool part. Like going back to the Padme counters to these different teams, I mean, you kind of swap up the mods and all that kind of stuff and turn orders and stuff and such versus some of these different counters. But in this one, it's kind of the same thing, but like the variations are very similar, with like the main three being JKR, Gas, Hermit Yoda, and then depending on who you're fighting, you can swap it up a little bit, and it's a lot of fun.
I didn't even swap my mods. Like whatever, all these comps, it's the same mods on all of them. I don't swap or anything. Like even this Gas counter, even though you can mod for higher offense, I didn't bother. I just left it the same mods I would as if I was using any other counter. Yeah,
that's nice. So I guess the main takeaway from using Jedi here in like a GAC setting, because I always like thinking this in the GAC setting. Let me rewind this a little bit. So I think of this in GAC. So if I were to build a counter, I would build one to counter an ult Ray. So I'd probably build this counter here. Usually, Blade and we're going to test some versus like other counters and different teams and seeing like really what is the best. But I think this is like, from what we've had like so far, like the last 3 weeks or so, this is really, in my opinion, the best way to use the Jedi. Going back in GAC, I mean, you can really swap things around. But if you are fighting a Chewbacca one in GAC, I doubt people would do that. But if they do happen to use that, I would probably use Darth Revan. And that's kind of a bummer because then you would have to build 2 different counters, a Darth Revan counter and a Jedi counter. But, that might work out for you. You never know. I think if you can still use those 2 and have a good idea of, a sure way of countering that team, that's a super, super high advantage, and you can get out ahead of your opponents, because if you have a Rey or a Kylo, I mean, you could place them on defense, right? So it's like a win-win. So I don't know. Anything else that we want to talk about here? I think this is kind of it, right? Yeah. I think, okay, the last things of why I think this is so cool is just the max health down can just burn through the Rey.
Yeah, because she has like, if modded for full health, she gets like 100% health between her relic unique that gives 70%, and another 30% from so she gets 100% health. She's usually around 400k average, 350 low end, and then like.
I mean, yeah, she has like a whole lot of health. People like to mod her for a lot of health, and I mean, it makes sense because she has such a high health pool. But
yeah,
I guess in these counters, I would, if I was a Rey owner, I mean, I'm not going to say what I want to do or anything, but I would probably mod it a bit differently to kind of throw a wrench in these teams, at least
because
I would.
JKR and Gas, they just, between the leadership and Gas Unique, you lower so much of the health that health doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, it's a nice counter, guys, and like I said, I want to do one with Blade again in the future against some Kylos, and honestly, when I'm looking at these two, I do think Kylo's a little bit more manageable for the most part, and just looking at the counters and like the variations, I guess, but any last words, Blade? I do appreciate you hanging out with me today.
No.
No last words? Alright. Well, thanks, guys, for watching today.
Well, actually, one.
One more? Okay.
Jedi rule.
Jedi rule, man. Gas is, I swear, if you guys don't have a Gas, you guys gotta get Gas. He is so good. So that's about it. You know, Jedi rule. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.